Good evening. Welcome back to, well, as you can see, Steptoe's bloody yard. Here we go again. Just another update. I've working on the door. The door's back from being shot blasted, but I actually had it soda blasted because it's a little bit more delicate. It's revealed quite a few little cornflake patches that I'm going to need to tackle. Get this cover off. Here, there, and everywhere. Nothing major. Some things that I want to go through when you're actually doing this, because you will do this, because it's these rust areas seem to be a common problem. Obviously, I made this patch with the brake or a bender, just a 90-degree with some holes drilled in for the spot welds. I've got to sort this skin out before I weld this back up, and mainly, obviously, I don't show the welding side of what I do. I did put a link to Mully's garage, who covers all this, so I mean that's probably the way to go forward rather than me doing, because I don't edit, as you know. But one thing I want to clear up is when you actually weld this patch in, because they do go along this seam. Some carry on. Mine's quite sound. The hinge bracket here needs spot welding for reinforcement. Obviously, that the skin needs spot welding, but make sure that that bracket is spot welded to give it basically make the bottom hinge stable, because these are really heavy doors, incredibly heavy. So I've managed to put the repair panel in, and I cut basically that piece out of here. So all this is part of the repair panel along here. As I showed in my last video, you weld it along this seam here, which actually gives you a bit of a guide for your angle grinder. And then I knife edge my joints, so when you're actually plug welding or seam welding, you get a really nice penetration. And as you can see, all that's had is a bit of dolphin glaze over the top just to smooth it out, and it's come out really well. It's quite an easy job to do, to be honest with you. All you've got to remember to do is this bit here is I slit it and folded that edge back, because underneath there is the formation of the repair panel. All this needs tacking back. There's the fold over lip, which will need folding over with like door skin pliers. I've got a bit to fill in along that joint. The repair panel at the bottom, I did say that I'm not going to need all of it. This might fall to bits. So basically, that's the Saab repair panel, the lower door repair panel. I've only got that to do, and as always, I try and keep as much of original car as possible. So there's a little bit here, so I might have to actually make a dog leg on the repair panel, but my intentions are to, on my bead roller, is do a joggle joint along there. Now basically, I mean, anybody that knows a joggle joint is basically that. I'm going to use the bead roller to form like a dog leg and in the panel, in the new panel, and then I'll tack it, and then I'll seam weld it all the way along, which will give you basically quite a nice lip, and also it stops warping as well. If you do a joggle joint, you're more likely to not to warp the lower panel. But all this was protected, so that's here's the the lower skin, but obviously all that's covered with the Aero kit, but it's absolutely fine. There's only that bit there that will need sorting, and also I've got a bit on this inner skin that I'll need to fabricate in along here. So I'm quite happy with that. That's gone in really, really well. I'll put rust kill, etch primer, epoxy primer, seam sealer, the joints here, and it's gone in really, really good. I'm really impressed how these panels fit, and so yeah, don't forget to spot weld the hinge bracket to reinforce it, and the rest of the door is absolutely fine. Quite surprising, really. I mean, 1986, and look at this side impact bars. Saab, I mean, safety wise, Saab thought of everything, didn't they? I mean, these, I don't know when British cars or the rest of the car industry started putting side impact bars in, but that's incredible for nearly 40 years ago. Shows you the safety that's built into the cars. So that's the bit that I've cut off there. So I think it's about 5 centimeters I'm going to do. The drain holes will end up on here, and hopefully next time the door will be done and back on the car. The car's looking, obviously when you're doing any restoration, you get your ups and your downs, and I've been on a bit of a down, and I've had a couple of welding flashes, and obviously a lot of shit weather as well. So today's been quite mild, and I've been able to get on with a few things. So I haven't painted the slam panel yet, basically because at the moment cash strapped, can't really afford the paint, but obviously I need that goes in matte black and lacquer, and then I'm going to need to paint all the inside, which I've shown you the cross members before I weld all them in. But we won't go there. We've been there a lot of times. Everything's sort of done, apart from the little patch I keep mentioning and the sill. But hopefully, I've ran out of welding wire, and if the weather stays fine, I'll be welding all that, and then we're sort of moving on. Obviously, this Aero kit here has dropped. That should be up there, and you can't bang these on. The only way to get these back on is to slide them on, and I've made new brackets. I've done the not anti-roll bar, torsion bar, whatever it is. I've done all that. That's all got new bushes in. That needs fixing. And then I can move on to around the tank area, which I've explained. Obviously, we're dealing with petrol, and obviously the plastic tanks. I mean, again, Saab. 40 years ago, they were using plastic tanks, heavy-duty plastic tanks, not shit metal that rust through, especially with all the different types of fuel nowadays. So I've got all my bushes to do on my panhard bar. They're all probably going to drop the rear suspension, but we're looking all right. We've all the shit back in the Aero kits back on here, all the rubbers for the inner arches. So we're sort of like we're moving this way. So I'll show you today. I've been struggling. This isn't a rant, but I have been really struggling to get a shell, because originally, I mean, we're talking 16, 17, 18 years ago, the lower brackets on my tailgate, the pins went through, rusted away. So I've been supporting the tailgate on basically on a length of wood. And if you know about these cars, this tailgate is like a guillotine. It is so heavy and incredibly dangerous as well if the wood gave way. But finally, if I can crack the boot, we have lift off. Fantastic. So what I've done is say I've been looking for these, or I've asked so many people on social media, so many people, so many broken promises, can't be doing with it. One chap, I'm going to big shout out, John James Speed in Newcastle. He's got a few 900s and he breaks them. He's been absolutely superb. He's cut all these panels out for me, labelled them, and basically this bracket here, the pin was gone. I've bought all the clips off him. These are the original Liftomatic, I think they're German. These are the original gas struts. So basically, what I did was those are the end of the bracket. Now there should be a pin that comes off here with two shims and a C clip or an N clip or whatever that secures the brackets on that type of clip there, and you can see the shims on there. So what I did, I basically masked all the paintwork off so I don't burn anything. I basically sliced through the old one because it is spot welded onto the gutter, and fantastic. John gave me the whole section. He cut the whole section out, so, but what I've done is basically whittled it down into that was the back section that welds to the C panel, is it C pillar or the top of the rear inner wing, and then this bit here is basically what I've cut. So I've knifed through with the grinder and kept the pin, and I've welded that back on there. So that's fabulous. So thanks, John. You've been a lifesaver. Like I say, I've been after this on Facebook. So many broken promises, people breaking shells, and obviously when a Saab gets to it, a 900 gets to the end of its life, what's the shell worth? 150 quid to the scrap man. And so many messages, but so many people have let me down apart from John. So again, thanks, John. Right, here we are in the boot. Obviously, I've got the boot lip. That's all got to be done. I'm going to take that to a company called hopefully Percival's in Stockport. Now they're as I probably explained. Sorry, there we go. As I explained, Percival's are an old engineering company, and both the directors are actually ex 16S 900 owners. So it's great to have a good chat, and I'm going to have all this section. Ben on a digital brake, knife edge, double skin. Obviously, we've got up to here. Anything I can save, I'm going to save. So I won't know until I get all this crustiness off here. Sorry if that's out of focus. But probably across there, it's gone really bad. But the inner skin's not too bad. Nothing that I can't handle. I'm probably going to have to. Sorry, that was probably out of focus. You can see how bad the tailgates go. Not happy sight. And this, I think I probably put that in as filler. God, 16 years ago. So anyway, I've got an opening boot. Can't believe it. After 16, 17, 18, God knows how many years. And those are the original German gas struts as well. I think they're called Liftomatic. It is written on them somewhere. But you'll have to trust me on that one. And they work. So I'm going down into the boot. Obviously, at the moment, I can't afford the paint. So I'm going to be working on the boot area. I've got, which is quite standard. There's a small hole here. Obviously, that'll probably turn into a bigger hole. The floor's gone through. Floor gone through here. I probably showed this on one of my first videos, and you've got quite a lot of sound deadening on top of all this boot here. Probably best way I've probably found to get this off is with a multi-tool and a metal blade, if you've got one, and that'll obviously vibrate it off. It's going to go worse. We know it's going to go worse. It always does, because obviously Saab uses the heavy gauge steel and lots of sound deadening. And so now I've got my boot open, I can work on it safe. I can actually work on this area, and unfortunately, I've got to admit, I've actually bought a donor panel. Got this off John because I did. The only reason is I've looked at pictures and I didn't actually know the fabrication of the cradle. And this is for your jack. That's for the spare wheel, the space saver wheel. This is for the jack. Now under here, mine had completely gone, and it has gone. I'm gonna cut all that out, grind it all back. But unfortunately, like I say, the only donor panel that goes into this car is going to be this U-frame, because I'll probably, hopefully, I'll try and save the skin, but I might have to weld all this panel in. But that's it. I've been defeated. I've actually had to put in some donor parts. So yeah, I mean, not too bad. Your body colour and trim colour, but mine's Odoardo Edwardian Grey, buffalo leather. That's your reference for your trims. I've also had the. It's a bit pitted, but I mean that's the original support for the boot liner. That's all been soda blasted, shot blasted. Nice on this side, like the surface of the moon on that side. But it'll come back with some epoxy primer. There's no more rust. That obviously gets riveted in there. Single rivet there, 2 rivets onto the down here. I've got this side. I'm using, obviously I've used that this. It's really good stuff. I paid £12 with delivery. It's about £8 something from Rustbuster. I really do recommend it. It's fabulous stuff. I use it with. I mean, I don't know if she knows, an old makeup brush, so you can really froth it up and get it in all the nooks and crevices. It's really good stuff, and I will buy it again. It's better than the Cure Rust. And I've used this. There's all sorts of stuff about, but that was voted in the UK Practical Classics as the best rust killer. So, but none of it works unless you get it right back to. I mean, if you're struggling, you've got to get the rust back to a couple of microns. Otherwise, it's useless. You're just painting over flaky rust. So yeah, the next thing is we're all good this side. Electric aerials still working. Not a lot to do around the boot area apart from this area. Going back to the Aero kit, obviously I say they slide on, so I'm going to have to get the bumper off. And I want to get the bumper off because I want to do all around the rear valance and obviously restore the back bumper. Now, to get your back bumper off on the earlier flat noses, underneath here, if you put your hand up, you will feel 2 13mm nuts, which are on preform studs into the actual rear reinforcement of the bumper. Those are crusty as buggery. I'm going to have a right job getting those off. I can see them obviously rounding or shearing off, and me having to weld or whatever to 4 new studs. There's nothing on the centre apparently. I mean, that's just basically a buffer. So you've got 2 this side, 2 vertical studs, 13mm nuts, crusty as buggery under here. I can feel them, but you've got to get the bumper off to be able to slide the Aero kit back on. I've done all around the lights on the inside. I'm only really gone up to here, so I've got this panel to sort out. bit of surface rust on the inner panel. All the inside is absolutely fine. You can't really see it's going dark, but you have to trust me, it's all going fine. I paint all this rear step back up, and yeah, we're sort of moving on to another area. And obviously, I can't really show you this down that side. We've only got if you go back to my early videos, on the centre section of the passenger door, there's a hole. I think it was probably banged and obviously rust. So that's probably the only panel apart from the bonnet that I'm going to have to paint. I'm going to. They've got a bit of flaky lacquer, but I'm going to try and bring that back with some. Obviously, as you do, take the edges down, probably re-lacquer it because the actual paint is fine. So yes, that's about I think about it. Where I'm at, I'm so glad. Honestly, I'm so chuffed. For 16 years, I've not been able to open my boot, and now that is so good. Can you believe that? 40-year-old German gas struts and they're still working. So yeah, basically there we go. I'm saying that the original. I don't know. They've been on my car for 30 odd years. Whether they were what Saab used or whether they use their own gas struts, I doubt it. But they are the German ones, I think. It seems to be written in blue writing with German. So yeah, that's about it. Get this area sorted out. I've been doing all this with an old Saab welder. I've had a couple of flashes because I've been doing the highly safe squint and wink welding helmet. My helmet's gone all burnt and I can't find the new covers for the visor, so I've been squinting and winking, and as you do, and when you get out of sync, you obviously you get your welding flashes. So yeah, basically an old 40-year-old Saab welder my mum bought me when I first started restoring cars, and it's lasted. I only used the tiny little bottle gas. I've just run out of 0.8 mil wire, so I'll get that sorted. So there we go. It's all coming along. We are getting there. And obviously, she's a rare old beast nowadays. There's not many of them about. I've been trying to sort her out. I think going back to John up in Newcastle, he's got a black and tan. I think an 85 again on the flat nose. So I think that, as far as I know, there's 3, maybe 4. I think there's one that's pottering around in Scotland on a black and tan. There's a couple of silver ones. Obviously, mine on the 86 Odoardo grey. Never seen another one in the UK that's fully original. I mean, a lot of these cars, they're 2 or 3 cars made into one. This is fully original. I mean, loads of telltale signs. You've got the APC has got to be correct. Matching numbers on the block. The older, I think it's is it a B202? I don't know. The older ones have the 2 screws. The newer engines has the 4 screws on the rocker cover. Other telltale signs: the ECU is a different part number. Hydraulic mounting bracket for the gearbox is a different number. There's all sorts of different bits and pieces. Obviously, the brakes. You've got the Girling brakes, or now Girling Lucas, because it's the same company. Handbrake on the front wheels. That's telltale sign for the older Saabs. As far as the tailgate, up to the facelift models, you can't have a rear wash pipe, and you can't have the third stop light. If you see that on an older car, you know it's not the original tailgate. So yeah, tailgate spoilers. Spoilers nice. It's just that lip that I've got to sort out. So that's where I'm up to. It's going dark now. Bit of an insight of what I've been up to. Petrol cap's got to go on. Yeah, that's it basically. I'll update as soon as I've got all these this door finished. Get it all in epoxy primer ready for colour, and I'll probably end up masking and shooting all the colour in one. It's obviously it's base and lacquer on these older cars, so I'm gonna have to wait for another thing that's for a late update. We've had cat weather and high winds, and the door was away for a while at the soda blasters, but I'm dead chuffed. Just getting there slowly but surely. Lots of mix and match. It's one of those. I think once everything's in paint, it'll all start to come together and drop the car down and turn it around. Work a few bits on the other side that I need to do. Get the aero kit off. Check. There's no real rot on the car. It's apart from what I've seen on the videos behind the rear quarter. There's no rot. It's just come unclipped, and you can't clip them back on. It's the way the inner runners work. How it's come unclipped, I don't know. But you've got to get the bumpers off to be able to slide the panel on, and then it has the little retainer clip that fastens to the inner arch. So there we go. Another step-toe yard. I'll catch you up with the next update as always. Back on Heineken. Kronenberg 1664 wasn't, not mine. I do like my Heineken. So look after yourself. Update you soon. Take care. Good night.